Welcome back to the Stoop, football fans. It's your boy Lolo. I'm back under the stoop. I made my way down the stairs with my busted knee. For those of y'all who don't know it, I am still rocking the cane and the knee brace and all that, but I'm a bit more mobile these days. I don't think I'll be able to start against Brentford this weekend, so I think I'll take the weekend off. I know Arsenal needs some strikers up front, some portly, short Mexican Mexican-American striker with a busted knee would probably be better than most of what we got going on at Arsenal. But it is Thursday, guys. We are bringing you the Premier League Weekend Watchlist. And these are, I didn't know if you were ready for it or not, John. These are the matches that we're going to discuss today. Arsenal is not up there.
Can you do that again?
Yeah, I'll do it when Mark comes on. We'll do it when Mark comes on. These late night shows. Sorry, it's bad producing when we schedule a show when our director's hockey team is in a penalty shootout right now. So he'll be with us in a moment once Rangers win or lose. But anyway, guys, good to see everybody in the comments section. All of our Ava crew, all vampires are we. Over there in the UK, Jimmy Bremer's ghost is here. Sorry to hear about all that crap that's going on with your house. Please don't get into any trouble. Ben Ireland, good to see you. Macronomical Evan, nice to see you here. Saul, all the way out in Australia. Good to have you on here. Carol Gunny, good to see you as well. Ben Arizona, what's going on, man? On your drive back from the gym, getting that fitness. I may have to go out to Arizona for some of that dry air and working out with Ben to get my knee back in order. Maybe I could play for Leeds. They run too much. Anyway, guys, it's the I'm not gonna say it. Let's kick on with the show. Let me bring on my lovely co-host. You know him, you love him. He's the only living Wolves fan in New York. The only living Wolves fan in New York.
What makes you think you can play striker?
Because
I mean, maybe I'll put you at a false nine.
Messi style, just wandering around.
But then if Messi's nickname is the Flea, what is your nickname?
My nickname. Well,
when we did play up in the park, I called him Weebles because he kind of like wobbled around.
Wobbles.
But he didn't fall down. Exactly.
Yeah, so that's a lot where Lolo comes from with the last name Lopez, and I'm short, and I've always been a little bit like stocky. So yeah, people try to knock me over, but I got that low center of gravity. You can't knock me over. Yeah, the Weeble wobbles, but you don't fall down. Anyway, Mark.
Yes, sir.
You know what time it is right now? Do you know what time it is? And I'm not talking about the clock.
I think we're doing one of these weekend updates.
Premier League Weekend Watchlist.
You couldn't even get the name right. We're not
I couldn't. It's been so long. It's been so long.
Welcome to Weekend to our Twitch followers who are on here.
I'm Spawny Merc, and you are not.
I don't know what
this week in the news
Twitch people are talking about, but glad that we've got actually like 3 Twitch people on here. So good to see them on here. I don't know if they want to talk football or not, but that's what we're doing.
Okay.
Okay.
We like it.
Yeah. So let's get to it. As you guys know, Weekend Watch List, the way we do this is I pick a match, Mark picks a match. We cannot pick our own clubs, and then we poll the audience to get their choices. We're only doing a 30-minute show today, so we got to get these out of here so we already know what they're going to be. And
no shenanigans.
No shenanigans. So they are right here. Do you read the chat, Brandiano? Right here, man. What you talking about? Or woman, or person, or... I don't know. I can't see that. Anyway, let's get to it. I'm going to start off with my match of the week that I want to see because I just love watching Tottenham drop points. So I'm going with one of the only teams to beat City, or maybe the only team to beat City. Have they lost more than once?
I think they have.
I'm going with Manchester City versus Tottenham. This is at the Etihad, and listen, Tottenham beat them at the beginning of the season, early days when we were all like, "Oh, Man City's fallen off. Man City's fallen off," and Son snuck in a not cheap goal, but yes, of course, Lolo, Evan. I can't pick Arsenal, so I have to pick
Mr. Tom. They were the same guy. Let's just be
Hillbilly
clear
Jim?
about that. Hillbilly Jim and Hacksaw Jim Duggan were the same guy. Yes, sir.
We'll see.
This-
Photo or it didn't happen.
Exactly.
But Mark,
exactly.
don't let Mr. Tom sidetrack us too early in the show. 'Cause
No,
I'm
sir.
still on my rant here. Manchester City, an unstoppable force right now in Leicester Southampton for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Who could get a draw? This is gonna be key for Tottenham and Conte. They've been dropping points like crazy, but I think that's because those are games that they went in expecting to win. I think we see a very different Tottenham coming out to play against Manchester City. I think they show up more
Absolutely.
than they have in the past few weeks.
Not at all.
No,
I don't
think it's
see that
enough.
happening.
I don't think it's
I
enough.
really don't.
me
Look,
see.
this is different of a
And
battle
that's the most
that
good
you
things
could
you'll hear me
see.
say.
I mean, like, if you were to be a time traveler and travel from that first week to, what is it, Saturday or Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday.
Saturday? I think it's Saturday.
Sun-
Sunday?
Oh, I thought all the
It
ones
is-
that
it
we
is
chose
Saturday.
were on Sunday. Oh, yeah, they're
It is
play
on Saturday.
The late game, yeah.
If you time traveled from that first week game to Saturday, you wouldn't recognize either team. I mean,
Yeah.
Spurs, Nuno gone, Conte in, Dele Alli out. No, or back then, no Kane. Got a Kane now.
I have a Kane as well.
You got like a
and it
stroke
scored
Kane.
about as many goals.
We got to
It
get you
scored
a
about as many
proper pimpin' Kane, one with like a wolf's head. Or on the City side, no Ferran Torres, who he started in the striker position,
goals. Yeah, he started up front.
and not only that, but Spurs won.
Yeah.
1-0. And that
Yeah,
was that basically was what got Nuno manager of the month, which eventually got him fired. Now,
Yeah.
Bruno was January's manager of the month, so I'm expecting that he'll be fired by April.
Listen, I don't think Conte gets fired. I think Conte leaves, if anything. He takes the fuck off. He gets out of there. But listen, I don't know. I think Manchester City, they're going to come out with a little bit more fire than they came out with against Southampton, because they have a tendency of knowing they can beat teams, and they can, playing half-assed. But they just put up 4 or 5 goals against Sporting, which is to me a much better team than Tottenham right now. So, and they did that like just fucking around. And I agree
also
with Mr.
think
Tom.
that this
it
is-
should be
this is-
fairly comfortable.
This is what City is focused on. I mean, they're cakewalking through the Premier League. This is where
And
they want to
they're
make their
focused on the
statement
Champions League,
because they're angry at Alexander-Arnold saying that
How dare you say we haven't won
you
a
ain't
Champions
you
League?
haven't
that we
won
haven't.
fuck all. So they're like, oh, okay, we got to show you now. And
Yeah.
all that is locker room fire, as far as I'm concerned. We didn't talk about it yesterday, but
Yeah,
you
they're going to
know.
come out and
Alexander Trent, if you're watching the show, zip it.
we were talking about what sort of if a little spoiler alert, but none of y'all are watching anyway. But we were thinking about what would Trent Alexander-Arnold's what musical would he be in? and I want to do rent for him, but it's going to be Trent. So it'll be 525,600 failed defensive maneuvers because he's a fucking terrible defender. Anyway, so Mark, let me get your pick because we got to burn through these. Let me get your pick, your score line on this. Do Spurs get a goal here? And guys, in the comment section, put that in there. What do you guys think the final score is going to be for this?
Spurs don't score 3-0 City. 3-0 City.
I can see that. I'm actually going to go right there with you, 3-0 City. And I think 3 different players score. And one of them might even be João Cancelo.
There's very few teams that have a better defense than Wolves. And City happens to be one of them.
Yeah.
And they are not going to let the Wolves show them up by letting Spurs get one in. You know?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm reading Evan's comment. City are playing at the Etihad. This means Pep has a canoe paddle ready to beat the living snot out of his opponents. Fantastic. So I'm going with 3-0 as well. So let us know what you guys think in the comments, and let's move on. Sorry, Mark, I said you couldn't pick your own team, but we changed that up this week. We agreed on these.
I think what we decided is that given our time restriction, that we were just going to go with what we as a group agreed upon were the best matches. And I gotta say, it's like we have these on the screen behind you. I thought a little bit about West Ham and Newcastle. And then I had learned yesterday that Kieran Trippier broke his foot.
You didn't learn that yesterday. You learned that.
Was it not yesterday?
All week. We've been talking about it all week.
I don't know when I learned about it. I could go back to my chat, but
I kind of feel like we talked about it.
It feels like it was yesterday that I learned about it. So Tuesday, so 2 days ago, rather than 1 day ago.
You watched the match. He came off the anyway.
I don't remember that. I watched so many goddamn matches.
I have a question.
Yes, John.
Mark said the group got together. Who was the group?
Us three, I think, on the chat when he texted before. We're doing these matches, right? And I was like, thumbs up emoji. Let's go. That was our group discussion. Breaking the fourth wall, everybody.
We're still on that chat.
Speaking of, see, you're just talking to Johnny the Geordie here.
Johnny the Geordie.
Continue talking about why you're not talking about Newcastle.
Because I was like, to learn that Trippier broke his foot. He's probably going to miss the rest of the season. While all the lovely signups or all the lovely signings that they got, I think that they broke their most important toy, and it's really unfortunate because I really see the Magpies drop off a little bit. I really do. Like right now, they're 4 points out of relegation, which is that's not a bad number. I mean, that's more than one game ahead.
Okay, you've just wasted half of your time that we devoted to talking about Wolves, talking about Kieran Trippier. All right.
What more can we say
what are
about
your predictions
Wolves?
for Wolves Leicester? Because we're out of time.
Wolves Leicester. I'm going to.
What happened the first time around, Mark? Tell me.
Leicester won 1-0. Jamie Vardy, beautiful kind of little pirouette goal. In the 18-yard box. Oh, and it was one of those where I've heard many people who were fans of the opposition of Jimmy Vardy and go, yeah, that's just leave it to Vardy to beat our ass like that. But I think right now, I do think this losing to Arsenal has lit a fucking fire under our asses.
Possibly.
I don't think there's a possibility about it. I think that this lit a little fire already to a fire, and I think they beat Leicester 2-0.
2-0. Wow. I could totally see that. And I think Wolves will definitely score 2 goals against Leicester, because Leicester is just
they give up goals.
They love giving up 2 all the time. Like, you can almost we should probably put money on that that Leicester will give up 2 goals. I am not sure you keep a clean sheet on it, because Leicester does have a bit more attack going right now than Tottenham do. And you guys scored those goals early against Tottenham, and were able to sort of defend a bit more, while every time you went forward was very controlled, a bit more controlled. Look,
well, I think the difference maker,
most important, I'd say the most versatile easily, but we could lose players that could hurt us more than Trippier.
Right. I think as far as Leicester, Wolves are a little more rested. Leicester had was it a game today? In the FA Cup or
no? Did they play
European League? I don't know.
Europa, no.
But they played.
Oh, they played today against the in the Europa Conference League, and see they played Randers,
who has no logo.
Which has no logo. I'm not even sure where Randers is or what.
These are
Randers
all sex workers that they've rounded up.
Let's see. Randers is a professional football club in East Jutland, Denmark. Okay.
Like I said,
and they still gave up a goal.
Red light district workers.
But you're absolutely right there.
But
Mark,
Barnes played, and
they started their whole team.
I think whoever was not starters, like Madison wasn't a starter, but he was on the bench. Iheanacho was, or Iheanacho. Not Iheanacho. I learned that from you son of a bitch.
Eating nachos went on.
Iheanacho without
Perez
guacamole, because the U.S. we're not getting avocados anymore. But they did have a match. There's going to be a fatigue factor. Wolves are a little more rested, and they're getting more healthy. I do see a Johnny appearance. I do see another Hee-Chan. Hee-Chan might even start. Oh my God, Neto is getting so close.
Listen, James Maddison went on the pitch. He went on in the second half and then immediately fell down. And then the physio came on to check his pulse, and they pulled him off. We're just fucking crazy. No,
are you serious?
Yeah.
Are you serious? Is that the truth?
I'm reading it right now. That's exactly what it says.
All right, that is absolutely horrible, because I thought for a second that I was going to make a Christian Eriksen joke, and I just thought to myself, "What? Too soon?"
He just said he felt unwell. Brendan Rodgers says, I've spoken to him and he felt a bit funny in the game, so we didn't want to take any risks with that. We just took him off and he went to see the doctors.
Right.
So,
I think there's like a bit of stomach flu floating around the league, because this sounds like something that happened to what's his name?
What?
I did read about it. And then also like Traore was complaining about illness a week and a half ago. How did he do today?
Who?
Traore. You watched the Barca game.
He holds on to the ball too much. And they don't know how to use him yet in Barcelona. They don't know. He stands over on the touchline just waiting, and the defender slowly leaves him be. And then I'm like, just kick it over the top. He'll get to it, and they just don't. Yeah. They don't. They're just not ready.
I'll keep it really brief about Traore in Barca, but one of the things that I've noticed in the 2 matches that I've seen him play in is that he plays much farther up the pitch
for Barcelona.
Like normally Traore is kind of hangs around the midfield, like right at the line at the midfield, and they have him a little farther up, and I wonder how he feels about that. I mean, obviously he loves it because
He would love it if they
he's-
would give it to him. You can tell he's like, what am I fucking doing over here? Nobody's giving me
Right.
the ball. And then they give him the ball and he holds on to it too long because he hasn't seen the ball in forever.
I don't know
Anyway,
that
he had
that
a couple
cross that he
chances
sent to I guess Espanol.
Yeah, he'll be
Yeah.
great for them. And the crowd fucking loves him. And remember, he used to play there when he was younger, so they're like, he's ours, he's our guy. And he's from Catalonia, I believe. He's from around there, not Barcelona.
Not
but
exactly
around.
sure.
Anyway, so I'm gonna go with. I think I got to give Leicester a goal, so I'm gonna say 2-1 Wolves on this one. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
I
just
think
see it.
I think without Vardy, I just don't see them scoring on us. We're just in that zone. Our defense is in a zone. Our offense is the one that has to go. All right, we believe in what's behind us, and let's just crush it. I am looking forward to Luke Kundal to play again in the spot of Moutinho. Anyway.
Evan's got a point there.
Leeds.
Wolves will score both goals off set pieces too. Leicester can't defend those to save their lives. Absolutely. Okay, so let's get to the last match of the weekend watch list. But before we do so, don't forget we got to thank our sponsors. We have so many sponsors these days. We just don't have room to put them all on the banners that hang outside on the stoop. So we have to have special mystery sponsors during every single show. So let's see who we got tonight. On the Stoop mystery sponsor, hold on, Lolo, it gets weird from here. Get ready to bust out those dancing shoes. One night only, Don Kirshner presents Together on Stage. Hansen and Mbappe sing Hansen's greatest hits. Mbappe. Live at Wembley Stadium, Wednesday, February 31st, 2022 at 8 p.m. Mbappe all night long. Jesus.
This is absolutely brilliant, and I
show?
for once in my life, I am actually wishing that I knew the words to Mbop, so that I can be like Mbappe. Mbappe.
That's
I have
it.
no
Those
idea.
Are the words. Those are the
that's
words.
it. And this got them famous.
Yeah.
This got them they actually did a documentary on these boys.
Ooh.
They're known for a 4-minute song.
Yeah.
But let's thank you very much, Mbappe. She's really popping, Mbappe.
Sorry about that. Grocery delivery showing up at 10:30 at night. Thank you very much, whoever we order from.
What a world we live in.
So let's get to it. Leeds United at home playing Manchester United. For anybody asking why the hell we would choose this as one of our top matches this weekend, not only do we have a lot of Leeds United fans that watch this show, but also we've learned a lot about this rivalry. And for us, this one's fun. This is a fun one to watch. This is going to be, there could be 10 goals in the match. I don't know. Leeds could get a bunch of goals or no goals. So I don't see that happening, Johnny. 0-1, 1-0. I don't see that. I don't see one goal in this game. This game, and Mark, not to steal your thunder, and I'll let you go on, but this is the Dan James reunion tour. This is Dan James worked his ass off in that first match against Leeds United. I remember seeing him run his ass off being like, this is my audition for Bielsa. Until Leeds got Pogba. Pogba didn't score, but he had like 4 assists.
Actually, I think he did score.
No,
I think he got. No, he didn't.
I thought
he got
did,
4
but it wasn't
assists.
on there.
We know that much.
He did. So, Mark, talk to me. Dan James at his new home's ground.
Man, this has been, since I've been thinking about this match this week, this has been like the number one thing that has come to my head. It was just like, because I go back and I was like, maybe I watched the replay from week 1, and I think it's Stuart Dallas on Dan James, and Dan James is in red, and I'm like, that doesn't make any sense because he plays for. Oh, wait a minute. There's this thing. And I know Najee gave Ollie a lot of stick because he's like, well, you're gonna send him over to Leeds, but you're gonna play him. I'm gonna play him before the ink's dry or before so maybe he gets hurt and I get to keep him or something like that. I don't know. But it's an absolute drubbing. And unfortunately, at the time, a quasi-healthy Leeds team. It's 5-1. Pogba has a fucking game of a lifetime when there was like question on whether or not he wanted to be there. Dan
Good
James.
Shout, Saul. Good shout. How about Dan James as a shit starter? And he gets,
why not?
He gets
why not
to get 2 yellows. Could easily happen.
But here's the thing, it's like, so I think Leeds is in this like kind of conundrum where it's like, because of injuries, you almost have to. But if you had the luxury, do you just bench Dan James on this one? No. Or do you give him the incentive to go, my team whooped these guys, now I'm on the other side and I'm going to whoop you? Because the alternative is that Man United know Dan James's tendencies and just kind of like, we know what that guy's going to do, and we can bank on it.
They don't,
because otherwise you have to like drill something up for him, and I don't think Dan James is worth it.
Well, listen, they know Dan James as the substitute, the young guy, the guy who comes on late. Manchester United knows him as the guy who can come off the bench or maybe start every now and then. He's not going to play a full 90, and he's going to have to be a strong individual. Dan James has drank the Kool-Aid. The blue and yellow and white Kool-Aid. He's drank that Kool-Aid. He is ingraining himself into the Leeds United team, and that aspect of his game is what's impressing Leeds United fans, and they're allowing him the time to get his scoring going because he's running his ass off. He does not stop going. And I don't think Manchester United know that Dan James. So for that reason, no, I wouldn't pull him at all. And knowing Leeds United, you play him even if he's having a bad season. You play him just to be like, it's going to be in their head a little bit, that they know you a little bit, that there's this little, you gave me away. It might ignite a fire there under him a little bit. And listen, it's part of like what Saul said right here. It'll be the loudest crowd you've ever heard, Lolo, until the shit scum bastards score. Then it'll get louder. And that's where I'm like, Dan James is going to run his ass off and be, instigating shit. And then Manchester United might score, and they would expect it to be like, oh, fuck, they scored. But that's not the reaction you get. Right. I mean, look at how the first one went. They scored a goal, went to halftime, and then Luke Ayling comes out and scores right away. And it's like, no, fuck you, we're in this. Then they put up like 3 or 4 more.
and like literally,
but that's what you have to do to Leeds. You have to put them all the way down.
The goals in between was like, I mean, Leeds fans barely had time to celebrate.
Yeah,
that go ahead goal came so fast. But this is not going to be easy for Leeds, and the crowd has to show up. I mean, I want to say like 2 seasons ago, and prior to Tommy Tuchel coming on for Chelsea, we looked at a Chelsea team and said, we just don't know who they are. Every week they're different. And that's Leeds right now. I mean, every single time they swing and connect, they surprise me. But then the next week, they're just... I don't know what I'm doing, yeah?
But I have to say, you do know what you're getting with Leeds United. It's just high risk, high reward. So some weeks we see the reward, and some weeks we see the punishment for the way that they play.
But see, that's just it.
I hear what you're
that's
saying.
just it. It's the punishment. It's not. There's no risk.
Well, the risk is
either they're going or they're being punished. There's no. I don't see.
Yeah, there's no in between.
I don't see Leeds taking those chances in the games. And when they do, I feel they're a little successful. But when they don't, they're just like, we're gonna lay down.
Well, I don't think they ever lay down. They never stop.
I've seen some. I don't want. Okay, lay down is a very strong thing to say, and I also think it's a very, very strong thing to say in the sport of football.
Yeah,
because I've not really ever seen anybody just lay down. I mean, there's a lot of pride that goes involved. There's far more pride in football and in English towns or cities than there is. I mean, New York are some of the most fickle fans. I mean, you got your Jets and your Giants, and it just there's not that kind of like rally behind the team, but I just Leeds is worrying me.
Yeah,
they're worrying me.
Yeah,
I know they're 6 points out of relegation, but where are they going to be in 6 weeks? What do we got? We got 15 weeks left. 12 weeks.
Listen. They have a hell of a game week coming up because they have a double match.
They've got
week,
a hell of a month coming up.
They have Manchester United and then Liverpool. It's going to be tough as shit. But like Carol Gunny says, gotta trust that Bielsa has learned as well. Team should have learned how big this game is. And for those of you who don't agree that this is a big match, just look at it. There's like 80 matches on Saturday and there's 2 on Sunday. One of them is all by itself at 9 a.m. Eastern time, which is 2 p.m. In the UK. And the other one is Wolves Leicester. So, but prime time by itself, it's a big match. All eyes are on that. It's a big game. Ben says he don't need your pity. I don't know if you were pitying them. You were a little.
I wouldn't pity.
concerned.
I would not pity the kitty.
Wait, you should pity the kitty. Kurt Zuma kicked it.
I don't pity the kitty. And I just don't know who Leeds are right now. Still, I'm trying to figure it out.
Well, let me
figure it out.
My assessment of this match, of the way that I hope it will go. I hope Rafinha has had some time to rest. I hope he comes out and he's back to his normal Rafinha ways. They're going to miss Stuart Dallas. I don't believe he's going to be playing. I don't think Firpo is...
No, Firpo
is playing. Oh, you were talking to me. My pity?
Yeah.
No, I don't fucking pity you guys.
No, I was... Anyway, no Firpo.
But I think this is going to be a cracker of a match. think this is going to be a cracker of a match. I think it's going to go back and forth. I do think Manchester United are going to score, and there is fear that bottles and shit will be thrown if Ronaldo does his CU fucking thing. But I think Manchester United, if Leeds United can score first, it gets them mad at each other and they turn on each other so quickly. But if Manchester United get a quick goal and then get another one, they can come together and start to look like a real team. But if you keep them, pit them against each other, make Maguire look bad, make make Sancho not pass to Ronaldo, things like that start to piss them off, I think Leeds United can get away with one here. And you can score goals on Manchester United. They are leaky. So I would like to say that what I would like to see is a 3-2 win for Leeds United.
Wow.
And I think it could happen.
Wow, man.
Wow.
That
That's
is like, I mean, wow.
Wow, Loki.
I don't see it like that. I really want to, but I don't know where the goals are coming from. Leeds United just gets more and more and more depleted. Man United more and more strong. They're getting Pogba back. Look what Pogba did to them in the first week of the season. Not saying that he's going to be in that well of form. I don't see it, and I don't think Rafinha has his. I don't think his heart is there because he's just looking around. He's going, now what? And for a young guy, that can be a bit of a beating. When you're not playing all that great, and you just continue to lose your starters over and over again. And I think it is this kind of more of a mental thing than it is physical.
Oh, it's all mental. Yeah.
This is going to be awful. I'm so sorry, my Stoop crew, my Leeds affiliated Stoop crew. This is gonna be 3-0 scum in your house. Sorry,
but see, I can see that as well. Like, that's the thing.
I've been saying it all season long since the injuries. Since the injuries have been piling up, I know. Since the injuries have been piling up, I've been saying it over and over and over again. And every once in a while, you prove me wrong, but then you prove me right again. Where are the goals going to come from? Yeah. And I think that in this particular case, Man United is going to know the tendencies of one of your best options to score, and that's Dan James, and they're going to shut him down.
I don't know. I think Dan James is the X factor.
Who was Dan James playing with in the first of the season? Man United.
And where was he playing? He was playing
played
as a winger.
70 minutes. I have no idea where he played.
And if Bielsa starts him up front, like he started the last 2 weeks, that's a different position. That's a different player. And I'm just saying, they know Dan James.
Varane and Maguire shut him down.
Oh, have you seen?
I know
Maguire's
that's. Like, but Varane's defending when he's healthy, and he's coming back healthy for this one.
Okay, let me just do point counterpoint before we
go.
On the Rafinha bit, I think it is a mental thing, but remember, Rafinha didn't leave Leeds in the winter. I'm sure there were offers on the table beyond the West Ham one, but he didn't leave. Why? Because he's being showcased every week here with Leeds United, and even when Leeds United are poor, he's fucking fantastic to watch. A lot like Saint-Maximin, but it's still a World Cup year. He's on Brazil, for fuck's sake. Like that, your spot is not guaranteed.
Sure.
So he needs to get his head out of his ass and get back to normal Rafinha ways. Where is the best place to do it? On the national stage, 9 a.m. or our time, the first match
Absolutely.
on Sunday where
Absolutely.
everybody is watching, and doing it to Manchester United, doing it to Ronaldo, outperforming Ronaldo. So I think him and Dan James step up, and that's why I think there's going to be 5 goals in this. So, and Mark, don't listen to all these guys giving you
I don't.
shit
I.
because,
You know what?
it could very well be 3-0.
I just look, man. If I can't even say those things about my own squad, I have to be realistic.
Yeah.
And I have to say that if last year I was complaining about injuries, losing Johnny, losing Neto, losing Ramirez, losing Podence, losing Bali, blah, 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 blah. I can go on and bore you forever. But y'all have lost so many players, and you're not getting those players back, and you're still losing players. Stuart Dallas being the latest one. No one's come back from the injured list, but you keep adding to it, and it becomes how do you do it? How do you keep doing it? There's just there comes a point where I struggle. I struggle. We're not complaining about injuries. Sure.
Fuck off, Ben.
You are.
You are. No, Ben.
You're just not making every excuse afterwards.
No, it's the way you're complaining about injuries and stuff. It's like, oh, we don't complain when we have this. Oh, we don't complain when this. That's what you're doing. You're just doing it in the past tense. So, anyway, look, Mark, they may not be happy with it, but I'm asking every Leeds United fan in the audience right now, you can't say that 3-0 Man United is not a possibility. You just can't. You can't say it.
I want better for Leeds.
I don't think that's going to happen.
I want better for Leeds than this. You're not getting the 3 points, and I think you're going to get. You got beat 5-1 last time, and you were healthy. You had Bamford. You had players up the wazoo that were healthy first game of the season, and they popped you good. And now you got nobody, and they're pretty much have the same team. They're going to pop you again, man. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, exactly, Mr. Tom. Just like that. We never got our game against Arsenal canceled because we had this and this and this. It really should have been canceled, though. We should have had... And I'm like, that's fucking complaining afterwards. It's complaining by not complaining somehow. I don't know how you guys make that work. But let me just say, Mark, let's remember back to last season when Leeds United went into the month of death.
Yeah.
And they got more points than anybody ever expected to. So,
yep. But look at the lineup for those teams. That was one of the more healthier times for Leeds.
Yeah.
They weren't relying on Tyler Roberts. They weren't relying on Rodrigo, who was also one of those hurt last year, but hasn't done fuck all for you this year. I think at the end of last season, you were Leeds fans, you were a little excited about Rodrigo coming back from injury.
I think
and
Rodrigo's
what him
playing
and Bamford
his best football right now.
I think he's had spurts
forever.
I think he's had spurts. I'm not completely sold on him. Much in the same way that I'm not completely sold on Dan James. Yeah. Dan James is Jekyll and Hyde. Rodrigo is Jekyll and Hyde. And I just, building on last season, I would have loved to see the injury bug be eradicated from Ellen Road, and that they, to see what they really could have done with that squad, because they're a very talented squad. Different from the talent that Arsenal has, and different from the talent that Wolves has, but Leeds has intangible talent. Talent that is just not found elsewhere. And it becomes that perfect storm. I think that, it's taken a little while for Arteta, but he's getting his players to come together. Bielsa always has that success of bringing these players together that can play very, very well. We're seeing that Bruno Lage can get well more out of players than they might get somewhere else. And it just comes down to that luck. And right now, Leeds does not have that luck.
Yeah. Well, you got to think, Leeds United essentially play multiple times a week at full pace because of the training that they go through. So, So, Arsenal players, they don't train all that hard. Like, they may have one or two training sessions that are full running. But the rest of the time, it's like, oh, now we're gonna do a photo shoot and shit like that. So it's no surprise that Leeds United suffer from exhaustion and shit like that, because they fucking do murder ball and balls to the wall all throughout the week as well. You would think it would make them more fit, and it probably does, but it also, that's why you're seeing Rafinha. He's fucking tired. Fucking tired, and
I think it's more mental than physical.
And getting married as well. So I think there's been enough time this week. It's time for him to kick off. All right, guys, we've been here much too long. We're almost into a second show, so we've had to add another mystery sponsor. So here it is. This is another mystery sponsor who we had in the books already, who said, listen, if you go overboard, you do have to show our product again. So hold on, guys. It gets weird from here. Wolverhampton Hot and Spicy. That's right, folks. A 2,000-pound can of your favorite meat product. Order now for an autographed copy of Everyday Portuguese Cooking, signed by Nuno. Porque now.
I think the autographed copies have been crossed out, and it's just in crayon Bruno.
No, they just have
very
so many of them.
Just
They're
pissed
not
off
very
and
much.
vengeful. We'll see what happens there. And
all right, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Don't forget, and I know you guys won't forget. All of you guys are all of our normal happy hour vampires. So we will see you guys tomorrow for happy hour. I hope. I hope all your teams win for once. Yes, happy hour. Sorry, I wasn't sure if I was muted. But don't forget to join us for happy hour. I'll work on trivia tomorrow. If you guys have any trivia questions you want to get in the trivia, please send them over on thestupidlolo.com. Send me a message. And don't forget to Google Hansen and Mbappe. Sing Hansen's greatest hit. Singular. That's it from us. Mark? Last comment.
I'm not trying to be negative about Leeds.
Just trying to keep it real.
Peace from Brooklyn.
Peace, y'all.